Most people think money problems start in their 30s or 40s. But the truth is, financial success, or failure, usually begins much earlier. It starts in your teenage years, when you first learn how to earn, spend, and think about money. And the difference between someone who struggles financially and someone who builds wealth often comes down to what they do before the age of 20. Let me ask you something. If you had started saving and investing even a small amount of money when you were 15, where would you be today? Most teenagers don't think about this. They think they have plenty of time. Money feels like something that only adults need to worry about. But that mindset is exactly why so many people struggle later in life. Here's the reality. Your teenage years are the most powerful time in your financial life. Not because you have a lot of money, but because you have something far more valuable. Time is the single biggest advantage in building wealth. The earlier you start, the less money you actually need to invest. Imagine this. A teenager starts investing just a small amount every month. Nothing crazy. Maybe money from a part-time job or even saved pocket money. At first, it doesn't seem like much. But over time, something incredible starts to happen. That money begins to grow, and then the growth itself starts growing. This is called compound growth, and it's one of the most powerful forces in finance. Now compare that to someone who waits until they're 25 or 30 to start. They might earn more money, but they've lost years of compounding. And those years are impossible to get back. That's why starting early, even with very small amounts, is so important. But personal finance isn't just about investing. It starts with understanding money. Most teenagers grow up without any real financial education. Schools teach math, science, and history, but rarely teach how money actually works. So people grow up learning through mistakes, overspending, poor decisions. And by the time they realize it, they're already behind. So let's break it down simply. The first step is learning how to manage money. If you get any money, allowance, gifts, part-time income, don't spend all of it. Start building the habit of saving. Even saving a small percentage creates discipline. And discipline is more important than the amount. The second step is understanding spending. Not all spending is bad. But there's a difference between spending on things that bring value and spending just for instant pleasure. Many teenagers fall into the trap of buying things just to fit in or feel good in the moment. But those small decisions add up over time. Think about it this way. Every time you spend money, you're making a choice between your present and your future. And the more you choose your future, the stronger your financial position becomes. The third step is learning to invest. You don't need a lot of money to start. Today, there are simple platforms that allow beginners to invest small amounts. You can start with basic investments like index funds, which spread your money across many companies. This reduces risk and helps your money grow steadily over time. But here's something important. Investing is not about getting rich quickly. It's about being consistent. The biggest mistake beginners make is expecting fast results. When they don't see immediate gains, they lose interest. But real wealth is built slowly, over years, not days. Another important lesson is avoiding debt. As a teenager, you might not have access to credit cards or loans yet. And that's actually a good thing. Because once you enter adulthood, debt becomes very easy to access and very hard to manage. Learning to live within your means early can protect you from major financial problems later. Let's also talk about mindset. When you start managing and investing money early, you begin to see yourself differently. You're not just someone who spends money. You're someone who controls it. You become more aware, more disciplined, and more confident in your decisions. And that mindset carries into every part of your life. Now, you might be thinking, I'm too young to worry about all this. But that's exactly the point. You're not too young. You're early. And being early is the biggest advantage you can have. So what should you do starting today? Start small, save a little money, learn about investing, avoid unnecessary spending, and most importantly, stay consistent. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. The truth is, starting before 20 can change everything. So don't wait. Start now. Because one day you'll look back and realize, starting early was the best decision you ever made.